Okay, take number 2 of the siphon. We've altered the design. The bottom has Mickey Mouse feet. It should allow for more flow into the siphon. And there's our grow bed with no media in it yet. And we altered the size of the pipe down to 1 inch. This is a 1-inch pipe and not 1.5 like it was before. And it still runs out into the driveway for test purposes.
Test purposes.
Test porpoises. Not purposes, porpoises. My mistake. So, we're just waiting for it to fill up with water. Now, here, oh, it's flying away if it does that. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Here is the downspout part of this siphon. And you can see it's about 1 inch away from breaching the top. The hose there is filling it with water as we speak. What happens is water will crest over the top of this here, and when that happens, all that water coming down into the tube down here creates a low pressure zone, and that causes all of the water up here, which is not affected by that low pressure zone, to be sucked into the siphon and evacuated out of the system. And that's what a siphon does. Yay. Now we just gotta wait for it to work. So I'll let it crest over the top of the cup to show you the flow rate of it normally. And then I'll put the bell, that's this thing, over the top. It'll create a siphon pretty much automatically, and you will see the difference in flow. It is very close to cresting. The bell siphon is floating. Okay, there we go. It is beginning to crest over the top. The bell is floating away as we speak.
It'll be back.
It'll be back. Or it won't. Anyway, as you can see, we're creating a nice little vortex right there. Now, without the addition of that bell siphon top, we obviously can't create a siphon. And you can see we have basically a hose's worth of outflow. And you can see where it's landing on the ground just before the hoses. So now we will go ahead and replace the siphon hood, which I can't reach because it floated away.
What's that?
Ah, you're spraying me, you beast.
It's going.
It's not going. I can't, the pipe is in the way. It's...
Henry created a blockade so that none of us could reach the middle. And
now, the siphon has begun. Go ahead and turn off the water. And now, as you can see, this stream got a lot thicker. It is a full hose, or full pipe, worth of thickness. Going down to the ground. And the hose is off, as you can see. And the water level is decreasing. And it takes a couple minutes for it to decrease. But there is a large volume of water in here for it to evacuate. This is 5.5 inches. As actually you can see, we haven't glued these pieces yet. The pressure of the siphon is actually causing a leak. Well, once we glue these pieces, it'll become watertight, and that won't be an issue anymore. Yep, it's gone down more now. Now, if I were to take off this piece here and remove it, it would break the siphon, because there is a vacuum right in here. But seeing is believing, and the water level is decreasing, albeit somewhat slowly. And actually, now with the hose off, you can see the calmness of the water and the lights in the reflection. There's the lights right there. That's what's going to grow the food. Well, that's one of the things that's going to grow the food anyway. So, this is our second attempt at this, and we are convinced that it works. It is still going, if you can hear it. Still going strong. Nice thick stream. So the water level is below the bottom of this cap now. Before, it started out about right here, about an inch below the top of this. So it started out about right here. Now you can see the water is all the way down to here, and it's still going down. You can even tell back there, it is quite lower than it used to be. Now before we tried this with a 1.5 inch pipe here, but the amount of air getting back into the pipe back here was too great, and it caused the siphon to stop after about an inch worth of water was taken out. So that's why we downsized to 1 inch pipe, and that's how we get the result that we get here, which is a continuous siphon all the way down to the top of those Mickey Mouse feet, or heads, or whatever. So once the water reaches the top of those holes that look like Mickey Mouse, that air that gets sucked in through here will cause the siphon to break. It'll cause the vacuum to discontinue. And when that happens, no more water can be sucked in, and no more water will go out the back. We are getting pretty close to it completely evacuating. So we have another 3/4 of an inch or so to go. Up to this point, it looks like all of this has taken about 8 minutes. So I'm thinking maybe just 5 minutes for it to completely evacuate.
Well, technically it should be about 1/3 of the water volume, so 1/3 of the time.
That's right. Yeah, so when it's full of the growing media, the water volume will be less, and thus it should actually clear out faster. Yeah. So maybe 2 minutes, which is really quick. That's a nice way to get water out of the system as quickly as possible. It's a lot better than using buckets.
Or sucking on a hose.
Yes, which is one way to steal gasoline. Alright, so we're going to start seeing this It's sucking air in now, and it's attempting to break the siphon. And as a result, this is diminishing in power. Yep, and as you can see, it's slowing down a lot. And, well, come on. It's like in the morning, it just doesn't want to quit. There we go. And it's all done. So that's it. That's the siphon. And as you can see, it's got a little bit of air gap between the water and the bottom. So I can pull that off and show you. All that happened inside of there. And all the water is pretty much out of the system. We're left with about a ½ inch of water at the base, which is actually what we want. So, alright, that's all for now.